Breakfast at the Ron Beach. It's still early, but there are some people here. In America, you don't usually think of smoked or pickled fish for breakfast, but here you do. They have a lot of other nice things as well. Breads, and then over here is the buffet line. So, good morning, Father. How are you today? Sleep good?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Only during Mass.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Day 3 of the pilgrimage. We're here at the Mount of Beatitudes. We're getting ready to celebrate Mass as soon as Sister shows up and lets us in. In a little while, Sister will chase us out. We hope you all are praying for us as we are preparing to pray for you on this most wonderful, if not a touch cool and rainy Sunday here on the Mount of Beatitudes.
Here are some of the hardy pilgrims.
Come in and
Ready
see the church while we're waiting.
We're celebrating Mass at the Church of Beatitudes, where Jesus taught the Sermon on the Mount. We just pray the proclamation of the gospel mystery. Overlooking the Sea of Galilee.
For your kingdom, your reward is great in heaven. Alleluia. Alleluia. Alleluia.
A reality of blessing here and now. That happens when we cooperate with God. And we see potential and promise become reality because of how we respond.
Is very much the embodiment of what
There's
our
a
whole
Sam,
life
our
as
driver,
Catholics are.
and
if
we're
you're
on
looking
our
for
way
your vocation and
to-
how to live your vocation, it's exactly the same. by the
To
way.
Banias, which is Caesarea Philippi.
Everybody wants it to
And
be.
it's raining a little bit today, and there's bus number 1 right up ahead of us.
We're not always helpful, let's say it that way.
Father Shane's giving his story.
And in the midst of giving these witness talks, I would sometimes go to their various Sunday services, and of course, what drew me to their Sunday services was the free pizza afterwards. Remember, I'm still a mercenary at heart.
I, of course, started praying for the priests and that the Lord would raise up holy priests and on and on. And one day I was praying very fervently that the Lord would raise up holy priests. And he interrupted my prayers and said, "Why don't you offer to raise up a priest for me?" I think I was 38 or 39 at the time.
Who do you think I am? And Peter blurts it out, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Peter got it right. A lot of times Peter got it wrong, but this time he got it right, and for a good reason, because it wasn't from his own brain that he got it, but Jesus said, "This was given to you by my Father in heaven." It was a revelation. So Peter says, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus responds, "Thank you very much for defining me, Peter. You have defined who I am correctly. Now I'm going to return the favor, and I'm going to define you. You are rock, and on this rock I will build my church." So Peter defines who Jesus is, Jesus returns the favor, and defines who Peter is. Up until that time, his name was Simon. There was no name Peter. For us, that's unusual because we know a lot of people named Peter. But at that time, there was no name Peter. Jesus is creating him. We've just arrived at one of my favorite places in the Holy Land, the Rock of Caesarea Philippi. There used to be a temple right there in front of there where the pagans used to come, and they used to throw living sacrifices into the cave. And also right there are the niches where the god Pan was. Pan was the god of sheep and shepherds. Jesus comes here to establish a new rock, not this rock, not the false temple church, not the false god Pan. He is here to establish a new rock, Peter, on which he's going to build his new church, and there's going to be a new god of sheep and shepherds, which is him. This is an amazing sight.
not take my hand. And so he begins to ask me, you know, where have I been and why wasn't I there and so on. And he said, and you didn't ring my doorbell? And I said, no, Your Eminence, I didn't. Well, then,
The fruit sandwich.
Everybody look over here.
It's very thin, very healthy, kind of a see-through. And it's like a big tortilla actually. Whole wheat, very tasty.
That's how they make it. You take the bread, you put the goat yogurt on it, and the za'atar, which is olive oil, and za'atar or hyssop and sesame seed. You put it on the bread. She folds it up. And it goes onto the oven. And there it warms up and heats until everybody's ready to eat it. The other alternative is the falafel, which are these chickpeas ground up and fried, and then they're put in the pita bread. And then you got all these different salads you can add to it.
And when I got into Osborne, and you know, it was a whole different scene. I mean, you know, drugs, guns, and I mean, it was incredible. It was culture shock, and all of a sudden, I think I began to rethink so much of what I had just taken for granted. You know, it finally dawned on me that, you know, not everybody does believe this. I mean, you know, growing up in the neighborhood I did, everybody was Catholic. Everybody went to church. I mean, it was a very, you know, homogenous kind of existence for me. And when I got to Osborne, and I saw that, you know, people who believe this stuff really, you know, are the minority, I just began to rethink.